Hello, hello. I'm here today with my friend Maria. She's a friend of mine on Facebook. Maria is a young lady, 26 years old. She has two children and a loving partner. And she's living right now in Austria, although she has a lifestyle that allows her to move around quite a bit. And I want to explore that a little bit more. She's a very interesting person who has learned how to live on the energy of our universe. So that's pranic energy. It's something that I do talk about a lot. It's something that I'm very intrigued with, and I want to learn and understand more about. It's something that's drawing me very much. It's learning how to live with less food, with less water, and learning how to move into a space of interacting positively and fully with the energy of the universe. Maria, are you there?
Yes. Hey, John.
Hi there. I'm glad I've got a minute with you today. Can you please tell me a little bit about what this energy is that you are able to move into relationship with?
Okay. The most deep words that I can say about this energy, it is that it is like a glue in between all the particles of creation. So we are able to see these molecules. We are able to access their intelligence. This is the deepest that I can say about what it is. And on other levels, it comes with much more explanations. For example, on a physical level, it comes with different adjustments. On an emotional level, with other adjustments. And all this comes from the intelligence of the connected universe. This would be the simplest explanation.
Okay, so you have done some study into kind of metaphysics or physics or spirit, or what has been your entry level into an understanding of this energy?
I would say that the greatest gift were my parents, because they were a little bit more open-minded. So, for example, I was spending my childhood on a hippie beach, on a nudist hippie beach, with a lot of grandparents and a lot of uncles, and eating from the sea, fresh food, and maybe sharing more intimacy with the beings around. And I think from this, one thing led to another. My curiosity, my travels, also my perseverance, also my willpower, very strong into not believing what others are telling me.
So then you would say that kind of not believing the mainstream information and knowledge and understanding, is it a benefit to stepping into this energy?
I would say more it is a consequence of a natural love that one has for himself or for herself.
You have to love yourself.
It has to be a specific deep interest in who you are. That maybe it is translated by loving yourself.
It's very hard to answer these questions completely with black and white answers.
Yeah, if it would be after me, I would say no questions, no answers. But of course, yeah, we live in a No, verbal universe.
Right, where people will need to have some understanding or want to have some understanding. And this is it. In order to try to encourage people to move forward into something or to move forward towards something, we have to give them some sort of target.
Yeah. It is like this. The mind needs a direction.
Right. You need a direction, some sort of understanding, and that's important. And so that's why I really talk to people that have your type of experience. So excellent. So I think you told me that you kind of became most aware of this, most acutely aware of this ability after your second child.
After my first son.
After your first son. What did you notice happened to you then?
In that exact time, I saw for the first time a documentary video, an interview with Victor Truviano. And when I saw him there sitting on a chair and speaking, my reality in front of my eyes have transformed. Very simple to say. I started to see little stars and pulsating cells in the air that were quite alive, were quite active. And all I could say in that moment, okay, this being, Victor Truviano, which I was seeing on a computer, he is in the space. He's not, his energy, his words are emanating more energy outside of him. It's not only about his personality. I don't see only his own physical structure, but I'm able to see a little bit more. And yeah, and from that moment on, it just slowly stepped into me. In the beginning, even without my awareness, without my deep interest, let's say, I was not hooked on. And then slowly, it taught me, it gave me habits to do day by day. It gave me opportunities. Yeah.
Okay, so just before we go into kind of your habits and your daily rituals a little bit and talking about what methods you've learned how to attach to this energy more greatly, could you just tell me who Victor is? I'm not sure. Who is Victor?
Victor Truviano is as well quite well known in the Pranic community.
Okay.
Yeah, and he is known by his Babaji silence. He has a protocol that he spreads around the world. It's called Babaji silence. That is just a program of silence. And also, he is also known that he is not taking in physical nourishment for more than 10 years.
He hasn't eaten or drank food for 10 years.
Yes.
Okay, and his name is Victor
Truviano.
Truviano. Okay, I don't know him. I'm going to make contact with him. Thank you for that. So after you saw him, you became aware of something that was maybe within you for a long time, but you became it kind of struck you that, oh, this is what it is that's happening or that's going on in your life.
I saw it with my eyes, and when the reality in front of your eyes is shifting, there has to be more questions inside you. It gives birth to more questions.
Very, very much so. This has been my experience, and this is what has happened to me. Is that when the first time that I saw and heard about the breatharian lifestyle, that I was like just immediately drawn to, like, what is this? And I wanted a deeper understanding, and I felt like it's kind of been calling me ever since. So I've been on this pursuit with fruit and fasting to kind of unravel a deeper understanding of this energy that is within me, and wanting to know it better and know myself more deeply and love myself fully, and share what the light that is within me with everyone around me as much as I can, with my family, with my customers, with my friends, with everyone I can on this planet. So can you talk to me about the process maybe that you went through, or what you're going through, or what you do daily to stay in this energy or be in this energy?
It was a moment in the past while I was still breastfeeding my son, and it came naturally one morning, and a voice inside me told me, "You will not eat." And the feeling was so empty of fear that it came natural, and I said, okay. And was one day after the other, and it felt, I felt I had much more energy. I felt I could finally play with my children, like really playing, seeing with their eyes, answering honest from myself when something was not felt like correct done to me. So standing for myself, also showing myself, or also different challenges around within the family, within me, feeling different, feeling separate from the others, different questions. And this was the first time I remember it was exactly 9 days. And why 9 days? Because in the 9th day, my partner, who is also very sensitive, he very simply asked me, you either continue to start eating, or we make a little bit of more separation. Why this? Because my energy was starting to become so big, and within the limits of a family and having a child and different responsibilities, I didn't have time for myself, and I didn't have time to learn how and what to do with this energy. So I was just like a bomb exploding in the house. And of course, if somebody who is not willingly have decided that he wants or not to undergo this process, will feel a tension. This is, if there is a big energy and another vessel of energy that has not agreed to receive it, it will clash and it will create tension.
So your partner is not a breatharian.
He is, but in his own way.
So maybe you recognize his ability more than he does?
It could be. Maybe because we are all different people, maybe he has a different way of explaining this. And for sure, what I can say for sure, in the moment when a person is supporting himself also by not eating so much, the energy is increasing much more instant than from a person who also has a prana intake percentage, let's say above 50%, but through different methods.
What other methods are there to get into this pranic energy?
The simplest method is, which is not a method, is to have your heart open and to be a very honest, simple person who is deeply connected beyond all these practices. And of course, other methods are having a devotional lifestyle, therefore being grateful to everything that exists in the world and praising it and seeing and recognizing this energy in the trees, in the ground, and recognizing its flow, its travel way everywhere on earth. I could say everything, the method is everything what is given to you in this moment, and you have the space to do it. It can even be a dance. It can even be a song. But if it comes to you and you allow it to exit.
Being present, just being present, being in the moment is a way to access this energy. You talked about the nature, like being with the trees, being with the earth, being with the sunlight. Yes, all ways to be with the energy of being in devotion. So in a karmic flow with your life in a positive way, that the energy that you're putting out is a white light energy, is a pure energy, and then that is reflecting a pure energy back to you. So getting into like harmony with your life is a way to step into this energy. Excellent. Those are what I am finding. That I'm seeing. Sunlight, grounding, emptiness, no food, dry, like no water. Being in nature, being in the sunlight, breathing the air, focusing on the breath, meditation, mindfulness, movement, exercise. Fruit. Yes, talk to me about fruit, Maria.
About fruits.
Yes, fruits.
I see them as I don't see them as food, although there are moments when I consume them. For me, fruits are brothers or sisters of the same planet. They are different species with different experience on the evolution of the planet. They do as well like us have blood. They do as well like us have skin. They just look different. They are a different molecular composition. They have assembled, the consciousness have assembled itself different in them than in us. But the same consciousness is also present in us, also present in them.
Different animals on this planet, different entities on this planet.
Species, yeah. Different. You could say different crystallization of the consciousness, different manifestation of the consciousness. We have different forms, different colors, different textures, but we have the same intelligence in us. This is my latest experience with fruits. And I also have to say that there are moments when I do feel guilty for eating them. It comes with a feeling of guilt because they do speak to me, they do interact with me, they do tell me their story. And I call this as a interspecies collaboration. And with this, I realized that there is no need for us to consume them, as in essence, we just want to eat their experience, their knowledge, their wisdom. And we can do this without putting them into our mouth. We can do this by simply connecting to them, touching them, and asking them, what is your story? How did you existed here? What you have to share with me, and also give back. Look, this is who I am. This is my human experience. What is your fruit experience? And this is, I think, what is actually you go down. This is actually, I think, what we actually call eating. We just want to know the story, the energetical story, the energetical matrix of another element except ourselves.
Okay, so the fruits have healing energy. You know, we have knowledge of is eating them, but you're suggesting that there is a better way to interact with our fruit than eating it, and it's the energy of the fruit that we need. And for now, maybe we are eating it, but we can evolve and go further. And ultimately, what it is we need to get the knowledge of the fruit inside of our body. Is what really need. And we can do that without eating them. But the fruits are healing, nourishing food that we start with eating, but eventually evolve past eating.
Yeah.
There's something else I should have touched on there, because you touched on something I think is very important, and I didn't talk about it. You were talking about your relationship and getting to a place where your partner said that he wanted you to, you know, either step forward and separate from each other, or he wanted you to start eating again and come back to the family. Mm-hmm. And I think a relationship is an important thing to talk about. Relationship in this lifestyle is hard to navigate sometimes.
Yes, I agree with you. I'm trying to navigate it for 2 years now, and here I would like to say something very important, especially related to this, to family.
Yes.
I went and I have confessed myself to Jasmuhin. I'm sure you know her. Jasmuhin is like the grandmother of the Pranic community.
Oh, okay. So I've only heard of her, but I don't know. Okay, the grandmother of the Pranic community, Jasmuhin. I would like to make sure I contact with her more deeply. Thank you.
She's a very loving being with her mind expanded already to so many corners. And I have confessed, I said, look, I am experiencing this challenge. What should I do? And she told me a very simple answer. She said, if you would have not need a family, you would have not had it. So then I realized that family is part of my process, or of my journey, in order to learn how to correctly use this energy. So, okay, it is the first step. I am getting this energy. I am living with this energy daily, and now I learned how to give this energy also further on to my family, to my children when we play. Also to my family, just in learning how to simply be without doing anything. Excuse me. Children around. Mommy, don't play in the car.
This is real life family right here. Family interaction. So the Pranic lifestyle is challenging because it requires you to do like a lot of quiet time.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
It requires
that is true. And this is what requires you to mindfulness. And this is, for example, what the family challenged in me, because I had to find another way, because I don't have this quiet time. So I had to learn to have these quiet times in the chaos. And I had to learn to multitask and to share with them this without asking for my, please, a second. Without asking for my own time and space.
So you were able to interact with your life and stay in this space, even though you've got a busy family life. You've learned how to interact with this energy in amongst the busy lifestyle.
I am learning day by day, but yes, I have had until now
that is very challenging. It's very challenging to do that when you're moving, when things are moving around and changing very, very quickly, and you're trying to stay in that type of pranic energy space. I know that is very challenging to do that. Very, very challenging to do that, because it does take.
And what it is true is that, knowing myself in this situation, I am using food in order to step a little bit back. Although I know that I could very, very easily use meditation in that moment, or just a little bit of retreating myself. But if it's not possible to retreat myself, I share an apple with my son, or we share a banana together. And I use food in order to not get on my nerves in the end.
So it's a bit
very
soothing.
simply.
The food is actually soothing. It's actually some way of coping with your reality the way it is right now. But if you were in the right environment, you probably wouldn't need to eat or drink anything.
No. Although I am not in that imaginary proper environment, but my feeling is that if I would have been in a retreated space, maybe in my own little house in a garden around flowers and garden, I'm sure I would have done my experiment much more deep, and I would have connected with the plants and the flowers and the earth, and and I would have not seen them as food.
Wonderful. So we can go beyond the food, and the way to do it, in order for you to do it, you had to go through a detoxification process, or you just weren't really eating very much food ever?
No. I come from a carnivorous family, McDonaldian family.
Okay.
I come from microwave waves. But of course, it is true. What it is true is that I have showed a deep interest in. I don't want to say in being vegan or vegetarian, but I have shown a deep interest into experimenting on a nutritional level, which means that I had to go through all phases in my life for a very long time. So I have been carnivorous a long time. I have as well been a vegetarian long time, vegan long time, raw long time. And I saw, actually beyond all this, I saw my emotions. I saw my emotional state. I saw what I was missing when I was raw. And that was my mother's cooked food. And I went back to cooked food, to my mother's cooked food. So I did a lot of experience on a nutritional level. And what it means, experience means real experiment, means not to choose something, but to have the open mind to experience everything with all the consequences, to take responsibility that you will feel good and that you will also feel bad. But to know that there is something beyond this. And this is, for example, how I reached where I am. By being self-responsible for my experiment.
And then you different choice afterwards. So you...
The choice is when you are experiencing everything, that means you are in the right position and you have more or less access to your higher self, and your higher self will guide you. if you don't choose and get stuck in a specific concept, but you give yourself freedom to experience everything with the consequences, then, and after my opinion, only then one being will be in the position to really make choices. Until then are just experiments.
And once you've experimented fully with food and, you know, you've had it and you've been without it, and you can choose for yourself, do I feel better with it or do I feel better without it? What is actually better and what is actually best for me? That's when you make the step beyond it.
Just a second. I have to give a kiss on a finger. Good. Finish. Hi, come to mama. Let's stay here. Could we make a break? It's possible to make a break?
Yeah, Maria, thank you very much for your time today. We will connect again to talk some more. I really appreciate this time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jonathan.
We'll talk again. Bye.